ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for your appearance. But at a time when we have the greatest housing catastrophe in the history of our state, and we have overspending in our Department of Health where there are no checks and balances, billions have been wasted annually. We have government that displays complete incompetence with the management of the public finances. And this story comes out of a clear blue sky, manna from heaven, to distract from the issues that really impact ordinary daily lives. The government are delighted with the story because it's taken the spotlight from them on a run-up to Dáil recess. And I've watched the rolling media brawl for the last week, or nearly week and a half, and I must admit I have some experience in media brawl. It's clear that this media circus can be reduced to the following facts. Certain people within RTE conceived a scheme of deceit for a number of reasons. One, to retain the services of Ryan Tubridy, and two, to portray to the general public and to the staff of RTE that Tubridy had taken a pay cut. The public, certain staff at RTE and this committee were lied to. No checks and balances in any systems of checks and balances will prevent deceit. And that's just a fact of life. With a large organisation such as RTE, people run for cover and they immediately look for a scapegoat or scapegoats, as may be the case. And in what would appear to me generally is the case, those who identified the scapegoats were themselves the cause of the controversy quite often. The act of deceit is only surpassed by the more despicable act of scapegoating. Never have I seen more obvious scapegoating than in this debacle. And RTE conceived the scheme of the deceit and induced Ryan Tubridy, whom I don't know personally, nor do I know his family, nor any of the other people that have been mentioned in relation to Ryan Tubridy. But he was induced with the pay package to stay. And a number of members have confirmed this week that there was no wrongdoing on Ryan Tubridy's behalf. And the people in front of us effectively dismissed Dee Forbes and then issued a lengthy press release scapegoating her. The quality of management should be judged by the way they deal with the situations they find themselves in. And I can assure you, what I have heard today and yesterday and for the last week would indicate to me that this management does not have the skill set to deal with what's before them. Other than all they have done is look for scapegoats. And whilst RTE say Ryan Tubridy did nothing wrong, your actions do not support that position. Tubridy no longer presents his programme. And in my view, the act of taking Ryan Tubridy off air was wrong, and it has compounded the controversy whilst at the same time destroying Mr. Tubridy's reputation in the scapegoating. And it was ill-advised and one that should have only been done with the approval of the board. It's as plain as a pike staff to any person with a modicum of common sense that this act will cost RTE and, of course, the taxpayer far more in compensation to Tubridy than the 150,000 that we're talking about that was legally due anyway. So the bill for the action will have to be delivered at some point in the future. And I have one question with regard this, I suppose, delegation. Who made the decision to take Ryan Tubridy off air, bearing in mind your your continuous statements that he did nothing wrong. Now, and I am assuming that one of two people can answer that question, because it certainly wasn't anyone that isn't here.
So that's ultimately, because I'm the interim Deputy Director General, that is my decision as Editor-in-Chief. So why he's off air is because RT has an obligation to be independent.
I'm sorry, I can't hear Mr. Lynch.
Can you not?
For some reason. No.
Oh. How's that? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah. So as Deputy Director General, it is my decision to take Ryan Tubridy off air in consultation with the Director of Content.
And the Director of Content is not here?
Correct.
Was that decision put before the board?
No.
Are you telling me now, Mr. Lynch, that in your capacity with someone who isn't here, the Director of Content, you made a decision, in effect, which has exposed hundreds of thousands, if not millions in compensation, have exposed RTE and, in effect, the taxpayer. That's the decision made by you.
I'm the Editor-in-Chief, yes.
So you made that decision. And what was your rationale? You made the statement also that he has done nothing wrong.
So as I understand it from legal advice...
Are you saying now he did something wrong?
No.
So you continue with the statement that Ryan Tubridy has done nothing wrong?
It's not wrong. He has done nothing illegal. The contract that Ryan Tubridy engaged with is illegal.
Is there a difference?
There is a difference.
You're asserting a difference.
There is a difference between the editorial...
Do you think when it comes to compensation there will be a difference? Because they'll only be interested in the legal element. So we are back with the question I've put to you. Will you resign over the compensation that will be paid to Ryan Tubridy?
So, as I said in my opening statement...
That's a binary question. Yes or no would be the answer. Will you resign and make yourself accountable for a decision that you can be sure has ruined Ryan Tubridy? He's taken off the air under the assertion by RTE that he has done nothing wrong. You didn't say he didn't do anything illegal. You said he had done nothing wrong. And I'm sure that that will be brought up a number of times to you. Will you resign, yes or no?
That's be a matter for the incoming Director General.
So you, with just one other, I just go to Miss O'Reilly here. Are you happy that you have been exposed now as the chair of RTE to compensation without a shadow of a doubt? We're all of a frame of mind here commercially that we know the realm of these types of things will run into hundreds of thousands, if not millions, because he's not the only person that has been mentioned. And it has been the assertion of RTE from both yourself and Mr. Lynch that he did nothing wrong. But yet we're faced with a big bill. How do you feel about that decision being made, of which you seemingly had no act or part?
So just to clarify...
No.
I'm sorry, this pertains to your question. It is not the role of the board to get involved in editorial decision-making.
Excuse me,
the role of
one
the
second.
Editor-in-Chief.
Editorial decision-making. So who's the editorial decision made by? Are we back to Mr. Lynch?
The Editor-in-Chief.
Which is?
Mr.
Lynch at this point in time. So really, all of the bluster that you've come in here with about what you're going to do, it's only bluster, isn't it? Because you've exposed RTE among you with a massive bill for compensation to someone that you assert as having done nothing wrong. And yet you've not just thrown them all under the bus, you've backed over them and reversed at speed. So can you tell me, Mr. Lynch, are you going to be accountable in the future for when the compensation is paid? Because if he did nothing wrong, what was the basis and the rationale for taking him off the air? And paying him while he's off the air, and paying another presenter to do his radio programme. Are you going to be accountable?
Yeah, I'll be completely accountable
So
for
you
it.
will resign. You're going to confirm then today that you will resign when that happens, because as sure as light follows day, that's going to happen.
No, I'm just saying I'm taking full responsibility for the decision for Ryan Tubridy not to be an heir.
So, sorry, Chair, we
Just
need to
very
clarify
briefly.
that. So are you saying you will resign, Mr. Lynch, and be accountable?
For that decision, no.
No, thank you.
Well, then talk is cheap.
Deputy Alan Dillon.